Yeah, but doesn't he do it on like Twitch or something like that? So he's got like a whole bunch of
nerdy as
people.
he is, anyways.
Yeah, but he has a whole bunch of people commenting and stuff. So he's got something, stimulating his mind. Like right now, I'm watching the Astros Tigers game, and I'm like trying to pick this pitcher apart for the Astros. But he kind of looks good. I like his loose delivery here, Blue Ball or something like that. I've never heard of him.
That's, by the way, those are two of the best teams in baseball. But pitching, as far as ERA, bullpens, like the Astros, I'll give it to the Astros. I guess I already gave it away. But guess who's giving up the least amount of runs in baseball?
The Astros.
The Astros. Guess who's, and you know who doesn't score many runs?
The Astros.
Yes. No, but the Padres are one of the worst scoring teams in baseball.
Is that right? No way.
They've only scored. No, they've only scored 118 runs. Guess who scored the most runs in baseball?
The Mets. No.
The Cubs.
The Cubs. Yep. I was gonna say
the Cubs.
I hope so. With that bullpen, they kind of have to. They're a plus 48. I'm looking right now. They're a plus 48 run differential. The Mets are 55 plus 55. That's so far. I'm looking at the best in baseball. The Mets. Not bad.
And they play defense. I mean, the Mets got it going on, but all of a sudden, I hate the Phillies, but they've won 3 in a row. Like I always tell you, the Phillies always beat the weak teams.
Yeah.
They're playing the they're playing the Nationals. Oh my gosh, did you see the Marlins last night?
No, but I saw Kike.
So they're losing so bad. Kike Hernandez position player to close the game out on you.
That's tough. I saw his little thing where he like hit the back of his head and spit at the same time. It looked hilarious. It's a complete straight face. The guy's a comedian.
I just can't. I mean, what are you doing as an organization where literally a position player closes a game out on you?
I wonder how often that. Like, I think I saw it happen once last year. I don't know who it was. Shoot, probably the Dodgers.
Probably the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's something like Madden would do when we're up by a million. But I don't even think we witnessed that, did we, when we were there?
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. By the way, you talk about the Padres are a plus 26 run differential. They just must be throwing the ball real well.
Yeah, they have one of the better. They have the best bullpen, and then they have a good starting rotation. They just don't score. The Jackson Merrill is out. Cronenworth's out. They just DFA'd Gurriel, bringing Hayward back, which is not very exciting. But they've had so many injuries so early.
Yep. Can we talk about the Rockies real quick? Like,
thank God! They're so bad. If I was a betting man, I literally was thinking about this yesterday. I would just bet $500 for them to lose every day. I'm gonna come out on top.
You'd be in good shape. The only other team you can say that about is the White Sox, who've only won 3 games more than them. But it doesn't look like it looks like last year's White Sox team for the Rockies. Like there's just no like seeing this all the way through to where there's gonna be a positive outcome. Other than you might get the first overall pick next year. Might, not guaranteed.
I know, but they've had bad contracts. They got a lot of bad contracts with KB and who's that third baseman? He's actually not bad, but he's just not having a good year. They gave Marquez a lot of money, the starting pitcher. That's not working out. He's like 0-5, 0-6 with 11.
Yeah, he's struggling.
What's that lefty's name?
What are they? Who? The pitcher?
Yeah, the starting pitcher. He was actually pretty good. Remember he pitched against that wild card game against us?
Yeah. Freeland. Kyle Freeland. Yeah, he is good. But those guys, man, I feel for them, right? Like not the organization, the players, the ones like Freeland and Marquez who have stuck around for so long. Like, not only is it super difficult to pitch there, like you don't recover as well. Like you just get battered there, and then you look at your ERA, and if you have like a 4.5, 5, it's like you're kind of doing it. You know, like it's not the end of the world, but
they should look into. Do you think they should look into something as far as like it's really hard to recover there? So just get 2 years out of someone and just move them, like instead of trying to do long term, like they're just not going to last.
I think the problem is no one wants to sign there as a pitcher, right? Like you go there to die, basically. You know, you sign this contract and you know it's not going to be pretty. You're just going to wear it and collect your coin. I mean, it's just tough. So, but on the other end, it's like, well, what are they doing with their farm system? Like their farm system, we'll have to look sometime, but I don't think it's highly rated either. So if you're not going to sign free agents and your farm system is brutal, like, I mean, you're in a recipe for disaster for years.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So it's okay, like a Freeland, he was really good a couple years ago, and Marquez was good for a second. What if you move them for prospects, bring prospects in, get 2 years out of them? They're like the best traders ever because you just no one lasts long there at all.
Right.
I think that should be the next thing. Start moving people as much as you can.
Because they got three pitchers that have been there for quite some time now. Sanzantella, who was like really good when he first got called up. I don't know if you remember that. So like it's almost like if you show any hint that you can pitch in Colorado, like, oh, this is our guy, he's gonna stay here. You know, but look at like Ubaldo Jimenez. He was electric there for I don't know, a few years and then was just gone. Like he was not great, not good anymore. It's just tough, man. I feel for people who play there, pitchers especially.
I'm looking this up. Let's see. Giants are ranked 29th in farm system.
Like Marquez's career has all been with the Rockies since 2016. He's a 4.5 ERA, and that's like good.
Amazing
for a starting pitcher there. You know what I mean? Like really good. And then that's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, this guy's just wasting away. He was so good before he had Tommy John. I mean, it's going to take time again.
Right.
But man, I just feel like that's what happens there. There's not one reliever that have ever signed there where you're like, wow, that guy was good there. Not one time. Your reliever, you're going to die there. You're just going to collect your money. You're going to go die.
Shaw was pretty good there, wasn't he?
No.
He wasn't?
No.
Oh, maybe not. I'll try to think. There's a couple of guys that were like decent there, like Estevez as a reliever.
When
he was a starter there, actually, wasn't he?
Estevez was like a middle guy, almost starter middle guy, and then when he obviously Colorado didn't keep him, I think he got picked up by the Angels, and then that's when he got way better. And now he got paid.
Let's see. Career 4.15 Estevez. No, he wasn't a starter. I was wrong. I was right the first time. No, yeah, career or his that's LA.
So,
just kidding. Yeah, he was just
Rockies are ranked 9th. The number one prospect is Dollander, who I think is starting today. Let's look. Yeah, he's starting today. The number one prospect is 1-3 with an 8. So that sucks. They're going against Chris Sale today. So, man, I should get $500 and go put it on the Braves.
By the way, I looked up best Rockies closer in history. Brian Fuentes. Remember him?
Yeah.
The lefty?
The lefty.
He got funky with thing with his hand, and forget about some of these guys. I follow a couple guys. I started following some baseball accounts on Instagram. I never thought I would, but they're like baseball knowledge is like really solid and it's kind of funny. But they bring up guys like Fuentes, like people you forget about that were good, and the stuff they say is just incredible. One of them, I think I sent it to you, was the Hall of Pretty Good. First inductee into the Hall of Pretty Good.
The Hall of Pretty Good.
Hey, thank you. I was at Disney. I was at Disney when all this was going on. We were getting a kick out of it. First annual. I think you're coming up pretty soon, though. Word on the street. So.
We'll see. I told him, I was like, I said, Steve Soft, I should be way ahead of him. He got carted off. He had to get carted off the field.
What did he say? He say anything?
He didn't reply. I put that on the story because he's like, maybe Salty Kins will be next. And I'd be like, I should be first ballot. Steve was soft. He got carted off the field, and then he played the next day.
So that doesn't mean I'm soft. That means I'm tough. I played through a knee injury.
that means you weren't really hurt. You didn't get carted off the field.
I had a knee brace on for 2 weeks. Still have residual pain. Yeah, that wasn't one of my better moments.
Anyways, I was just reading about the Tigers. The Tigers, by the way, think about Flaherty. They got 2 for $35 million. He's got a 3 ERA. That's quite a steal in the starting pitching market.
Yeah. He was huge for them when he got traded over there last year.
He got traded away from them last year to the Dodgers.
Oh, that's right. Just kidding. He was huge for them prior to the trade.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was his resurgence here. Like we've all seen him when he first got called up. Like he was unbelievable. And
so
was he battling through Tommy John? Is that what he got done?
Yeah, Tommy John. Yeah. As you know, it takes a while to come back.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not really surprised. Like he was an absolute gamer when we played against him, and it was just a matter of time before he started feeling like himself again. Yeah, 3.34, 1.1 whip. You know, you love seeing that. What was his deal? What did he sign there for this year? What'd you say?
Let's go back to it. 2 for 35. He signed late.
That is a steal.
Let's see if our bullpen ranking ERA is updated since last time we talked. Who do you think?
Oh, hold on a second.
Still same.
Hold on a second. That's right. He did get traded at the deadline to the Dodgers. And remember, we were like, oh, they're done. And then they went like the totally opposite direction. Like Detroit just started killing it. And it's like, imagine if they kept those guys. Like, what?
It's kind of like, not that I got to bring it up, but when the Twins traded me and then they went to the playoffs.
Like, sick guys. Thanks. Oh, man.
It's kind of same feeling. But at least he won the World Series. Nationals, we got eliminated. Not so much.
Yep. But the next year, that's tough.
Yeah, the next year they won the World.
What could have been? You could have been.
I know guys that like had a day in the big leagues with them that year, and they got a.
Yeah.
Me and Max could have been hugging. But a guy in Vegas got like three days in the big leagues with them, has a ring. It's just like ridiculous.
I mean, that's kind of how it works. Like Kohler didn't even get to throw an inning for the Dodgers, got a ring, 2020. Like he's just on the 40-man, you know, but he blew his shoulder out. That was the end of his career, basically, you know. He's got a ring. I feel like it does hurt, but I feel like there's still do you think there's a sense of accomplishment with that? Like Tom would probably say, not really, but at the end of the day, like you grinded your whole career for that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, you didn't really participate, I guess, with the team, or you did limit at a limited capacity, but you still deserve it, I think.
Yeah, but you didn't get. I still probably an empty feeling because you didn't get celebration. You weren't in the World Series. You weren't feeling that. It's just different. I think when someone just hands it to you, you're like, "Oh, thanks. Like that's awesome. I have a ring."
Yep, that's true. I was talking to Joe Nathan a couple of months ago. I got to meet him at Carson Newman. His son goes there. He's a good player. And he pitched, I think, 3 games for the Cubbies, got released in 16, got a ring. But again, another guy who grinded anyway. So
yeah, I think my cleaning ladies are cleaning. Can you hear the vacuum? Is it so loud?
Yeah, a little bit. It's all right. You need a clean house.
So, by the way, you see yesterday, Kyle Gibson, they called him up from AAA. He signed late in spring. Kyle Gibson's like 37 years old. You see how many home runs they hit off him yesterday?
No.
The Yankees?
That's a bad matchup. How many?
5. 4 in the first inning.
That's tough. Your debut back after having to sit through free agency. It's like against a team like that. That crushes righty sinker ball.
89 miles an hour.
Exactly.
I mean, I get guys want to play, and I guess they're going to pay you keep playing. But at what point do you just go home? You made $70-something million. You got 10 years in the big leagues. At what point do you just be like, you know what? Like, I'm good. I'm just going to go home.
I don't know. I mean, we kind of went through it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was good. I was ready to go home.
Is he healthy? Yeah, 22 ERA after that.
I don't know. He was actually solid for the Cardinals last year. A lot of starts.
Right.
I think he had like a 4 or something, which is solid. But when you have to sign late, and now like he's probably going to get absolutely crushed for 2 months until you're like really big league shape.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is tough, right? Like he was decent last year. He was 4.24 ERA. He was with Baltimore the year before, so at least he's familiar. But he wasn't great with Baltimore. I mean, you're pitching in the second toughest division in baseball. You know, ooh, Colt Keith just went way back in Houston. Wow, Keith on Detroit just sent one like 3/4 of the way up the second deck in Houston.
So it's tied. 2-1 lead now for the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over the standings real quick. We got the Yankees 18-12. They're only a game and a half up on Boston. Boston's hanging around. Tampa just lingering, 3.5 back. I think they're just gonna figure something out. They always do. Toronto's starting to disappoint again. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They lost 3 in a row. They cannot score runs. They've only scored 97 runs. The Yankees have scored 173 runs.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Royals have scored 94. This is where they're at.
I know.
Okay, 97 runs. Toronto scored 97 runs. That's the level of that offense is at.
And those guys were hot to start. Let's see the box score from yesterday, just for fun. I mean, Bichette and Guerrero they're doing their thing. Springer's still hitting 313, but coming down to earth. Like who? Oh,
he was hitting 400 like 2 weeks ago.
I think it was Varsho. Did you see the play he made the other day?
Yeah, our YouTube account posted it.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was incredible. Maybe that's where I saw it.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable awareness.
Bichette only has a 689 OPS, so he's hitting 290, but there's no pop.
Yeah.
There's no slug. Guerrero's slugging or his OPS is 779. So they're just like, I mean, if Springer is your highest OPS at 890, you got serious problem. But look at the second half, their lineup. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, if Santander doesn't turn it on, they're in big trouble.
Yeah. Jimenez guy, Andres Jimenez, who had a monster year a couple years ago with Cleveland, and he got paid for it big time, is just really what I thought he was when I faced him in COVID year. He's just like a slap second baseman.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, I didn't realize that Santander hit 44 jacks last year. That's why he got paid. I didn't realize that. I mean, he always puts together a really good at bat. He's a tough at bat, but I mean, career 243 hitter in the middle of your lineup. 44 homers, like it's just all or nothing now at this point because he's not getting any younger. I think the Blue Jays, when they signed him to that deal, were like, well, you hit that in Baltimore. It's a hitter-friendly park. Like Toronto's like super hitter-friendly, as you know.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium for lefties. Boston not so much for lefties, but
Toronto, they're always like a year late to the party.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like who's the other team where I was thinking is always a year late. Oh well, I guess the Rockies, but that's with relief pitchers. Angels, the Angels, year late.
Are they still hanging around? Let's see.
No. I've been watching.
They are in last.
they hit the wall.
Lost 4 in a row.
What's killing them is, their bullpen's not great, but their main guys in the bullpen hold their own. They just can't hit. They're not hitting.
Yeah, they scored 103 runs, so they scored a little bit more than Toronto, and they've allowed 138 runs.
Yeah, and that's more recent
than the White Sox.
More recent. And Trout is hitting 173 with 9 pumps.
With 9 homers. Wow.
9 homers. How insane is that? 9 home runs. No.
Who do you think has allowed the most runs in baseball?
What team has allowed the most runs in baseball? I don't know. I want to say the White Sox, but probably not. Baltimore, let's say. Because I feel like their offense should be better, and they're still in dead last.
No. They're a close second or third.
Who is
the White Sox actually were not bad. Not even close. Miami.
Miami.
174 runs allowed. Colorado is next at 172.
Wow. How many runs has Colorado scored, though? Because I think their run differential is the worst in baseball. And obviously,
by the way, Colorado has lost 8 in a row. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They scored 94 runs.
Wow. Back to, so I'm glad you brought up Colorado. Which is, it's a shame, right, that your team has 4 wins and they still draw like decent fans. I feel like they have a solid fan base.
Always.
That Cressy and I were talking about the other day. That stadium is beautiful. I mean, it stinks pitching there, but it is a really nice stadium, right? Like, can you imagine being a fan of that team, like going to a beautiful ballpark and you put a product like that out in the field? Like, it's tough.
Well, it's tough. They tried, right? With like KB, like Chris Bryant contract, they tried. I think that kind of sets them back. He's got some spine issues, which is, that's going to be a long term.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, why sign him when like, nothing against KB. He's hurt a lot, and then you're signing him to a place like we said. You just cannot recover when you play there. Your body just falls apart. Right. It's just
Arenado, which that's just weird.
It makes no sense. So I don't know. I just feel for the fans there and some of these guys. But anyways,
they got. I mean, how do you even get out of that? The White Sox are probably, I don't even know. They're so many years away. I mean, the A's, though, baby, the Las Vegas or soon to be Las Vegas A's are like 500.
Yeah. Soon to be Las Vegas A's, that we said.
Yeah. 15-15. They're only 2.5 back in that division. Their run differential is minus 34. This is how bad this division is. The run differential is minus 34. And they are 2.5 back.
Yeah, but what's that tell you about their bullpen?
Solid.
Yeah, you can pitch in close games. So if there's a close game, you got a shot. You know what I mean?
I think they did it last night.
I mean, the lineup isn't.
Oh, no. It was close, and they got absolutely boat raced by the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, the lineup is nothing to boast
about. Monday night, they won 2-1.
Well, what's going on with the Rangers?
9 saves. DeGrom got his first win last night.
They're 16-14, but they went on a little skid piece there. Like, they were looking pretty rough for a minute. Are we worried about DeGrom? Is his velo back up? Did you get to see any of it? Because I saw a couple games where he was down a little. And I can't tell if it's because he's hurt, or if he's trying to take some off for longevity reasons. It's just tough.
He had a good line a couple weeks ago. I haven't really been able to see him much, but his number, he just gets 0 run support, but he's a 2.73 ERA.
Yeah. So this was a couple weeks ago when not that he pitched terrible, but the stuff wasn't the same. And you're like, is he hurt? I remember it was a concern.
It's not the same because he's only a strikeout an inning. So he's obviously not the same, but he's got a 1 whip. So this guy still dominates.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just 2 games. 2 games he was kind of iffy. But can you imagine, like, let's say he's able to taper it back a few, but stay healthy all year and still pitch to a tune of like a 2.7? It would be incredible. He's at a 2.7 now. Yep.
Man. And he's 36 years old, though. He's not the hardest worker from what I hear. So it'll be interesting, how his father time is going to work against him.
You just got to hope that I don't know nothing about the Rangers staff. Medical staff, but you just gotta hope they got a good one there. Keep him alive.
I mean, who else is on that staff with them? I mean,
Eovaldi, who's just an absolute animal.
I mean, that division sucks, so they have a chance to win that division, so it doesn't matter.
Dane Dunning, I think, just got called back up too. He went down to AAA to clean some stuff up. But he's just a sinker baller. He's just going to eat up innings. Oh, Corbin. He's doing pretty good.
Patrick Corbin, right?
Let me look at 3.79 ERA.
Another guy made $100-something million, World Series ring, probably got 10 years in the league. Why? I guess the competitive edge, man.
I saw him at Pop Stroke I was like, "You still going?" He's like, "Yeah, just want to try to give it a few more years here. I still feel good." I'm like, "All right, go for it."
Pop stroke. Ooh, I shot even the other day at pop stroke.
Did you really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That was a good one.
My daughters beat me by 10 strokes. I let them play a scramble against me.
Oh.
They did the hard course. They shot even par as a team.
Wow.
It was impressive. I shot 10 over.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're not a good putter, so we know
that. Eleanor on the hardest hole.
My son is not
a golfer.
Go ahead. Son, he's an ADHD, gets way too angry. Definitely not a golfer. I almost killed him at Pop Stroke because he got mad, turned around, and full swing golf ball sails, hits his sister in the head with the golf ball.
What?
I about killed him.
It sounds like Dad.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's surprising. I didn't see that coming out of him. Can we talk about that? How's he doing with baseball? Can you give us an update?
He went 3 innings the other day.
Awesome.
Yeah, first time in anyone that I've seen in his league go 3 innings. If we would have had any lick of defense, he would have went 5 innings. Ground ball after ground ball, just like Dad.
Yeah. Sinker ball, teaming it down away sinker.
I mean, but he threw strikes. That's the first time I gave him a full because he takes ADHD meds, so he can function at school. Mm-hmm. So I gave it to him before the game, locked in. So maybe I found the secret for him.
Now you need to give it to him before Pop Stroke.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem is that Pop Stroke, we gave it to him to start the day. It was at the point at the day where it wears off. And when it wears off, man, he comes down hard.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you give him that stuff when he races? Or is it like, no, we want Rage Monster?
Yeah, I tried one time. I was like, oh, this would be great. He could focus. Absolutely. It was the worst thing it was like slow motion, overthinking, scared, overthought everything. I'm like, well, that didn't work. So we'll never do that.
Wow. That's wild. I was thinking about you guys the other day. I was at a bike shop getting a inner tube for my stroller fixed before we went to Disney, and they had a bunch of the bikes for for the racing and stuff there lined up for sale. I'm like, ooh, this is where all these Haros.
You got to get on there.
A
Haro's a good startup for you.
You can't have a giraffe racing on a track like that.
You are too busy. You're the busiest unemployed person I've ever met in my life. Can't get you to commit to any time. Can't get you to commit to anything.
I'm the worst.
If anyone didn't know, we were supposed to be on an hour ago. Steve tells me last night, yep, good to go. No show. Unbelievable. You'd have been fired. Your boss would have been pissed. I was pissed.
You're a big mad. I was like, dang, I gotta talk. Yeah. I gotta call this guy back.
Quit the podcast for an hour. I'm not gonna
lie. It was a no-win situation. I was like, I gotta sell this house, but I gotta go on the podcast. Like, I have to get this house off our hands.
Why do you have an apartment? Why do you have this?
My dad. Why
did you have this? At least it was an apartment or something.
It's a condo. Oh. My dad lived in it, and then we kept it, and it was a rental income. It was doing all right, and then the HOA fees got ridiculous, and then the HOA lady is absolutely the worst human being on the planet. I hate to say about her. I like to talk negative about people. She's miserable, and she tried to ruin the house. The apartment, the condo was for sale for I don't know, 6 to 8 months. It wouldn't sell because it's just not a good time to sell. Finally, someone put a bid on it. We're like, yes, we agreed to terms. And the lady's like, no, you need a carpet throughout the entire apartment. You violated the code. You have laminate on a small part of the floor or whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me? We bought the place like this. What are we talking about? So I did the most rigged carpet job ever. I'm like, hey, it's carpeted. Shove it. And so she was super mad. She was trying to screw us over on the sale and all this stuff, and finally went through. So I'm like, I gotta go to the title company now that they said, hey, get down here now. We can sign the paperwork and just get it off our hands. So that's my fault. I should have told you.
HOA people are the worst. Literally, just HOA people are just miserable people.
Oh, she's so miserable, and it's a thankless job. I get it, but she thrives off just ruling over you. She is such a difficult person. Oh man, I'm so excited to get this off our hands.
I was excited. So the other day at Knox's game, remember I told you about that umpire Sonny that we had so many times?
Yeah.
We didn't have him Saturday. I was so excited. I was like, finally, we get away from Sonny. This guy was 10 times worse.
No.
I missed Sonny. This guy's calling crap, and it's getting bad. And our head coach, this guy, he's getting mad. You know it's bad if he's getting mad. So I'm like, I need to diffuse this. So the umpire's starting to yell. He's like a teenage kid, probably starting to yell back at the coach. And I'm like, I'm getting in the middle. I'm like, look, you're literally just calling stuff like you're calling stuff that's not even on the plate. I was like, the catcher, here we go. Same story. Catcher's diving for the ball, which is impossible. The kids have a 28-inch bat, by the way. If the ball is off the plate, these kids can't hit it.
Can't hit it. Yeah.
He's like, it's crossing the plate. I'm like, there's zero shot. He's like, you can't see. You don't know what a strike is. You're standing over at third base. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This again. So I'm like, look, I got to drop the bomb on him, big league card, all that stuff. And his all of a sudden his demeanor just changed right away. He's just like, I'm like, look, the kid's diving for the ball again. Like, I promise it's not a strike. It's impossible. He goes, well, this kid would dive for a ball if it was down the middle. I'm like, no, this catcher is actually pretty good. Like, you're literally, it's like, it's your job to teach these young kids what a strike is. I was like, right now, I have no idea what the heck a strike is. There's zero chance. I was like, it's your job to teach them. Well, that's just how I see it. I'm like, well, you're doing a terrible job. Just fix it. Of course, Knox comes up later in the game, massive spot. This ball bounces into the catcher, strike 3. I'm like, this freaking guy. Like, he's now seeing Knox's last name, and he's just going to hold it against us. Unbelievable. Yep. How do you can't even? I can see you want to call letter high strike. Call letter high strike. When the ball bounces into the catcher, it's impossible for these kids to hit that. Like, just don't be that guy.
Yeah, that's tough. I hate seeing that. Like, we encourage a bigger zone for the softball girls because it's so hard to pitch at 10 years old. But it's not that bad. Our umpires were actually pretty good, except for one guy. So we had our playoffs last week, and the first time I gave the umpire grief, and I didn't want to do it. But I'm the only one that can be on the field. I have to be behind the catcher. So it's 8U, coach pitch. So if the kid swings and misses, I'm there just to throw the ball back. The catcher's not going to catch it. This guy doesn't know the rules of baseball or softball. Like, I have no idea how he's umpire. I think he's just collecting his money and going. But my daughter's playing first. Oh, did I tell you? No, this is a different thing. My daughter's playing first. Ball's hit to the pitcher. She throws it. Avery drops it, picks it up. The girl's only 3/4 way down line, and she's holding the ball in her bare hand. She's out, right? I go, hey, good play, Avery. Way to stay with it. Umpire, safe. I go, dude, what? And all the other parents on the other side start dying laughing. Like, I was like, you're serious? He's like, yeah, she was bobbling the ball. She didn't have it. I was like, she doesn't have to have the ball in her glove. Like, she's holding on to it with her bare hand. The girl's only 3/4 of the way down the line. What do you mean? So, no, she didn't have it. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right, whatever. We all make mistakes. That was been a third out of the inning. Guess with 0 runs, which is huge. And that loaded the bases, grand slam.
They scored 5.
We ended up losing by 1.
No.
That was it. We were done after that.
No,
we had to play a doubleheader because of that. Yeah. Poor girls, man. They fought so hard. I was so proud.
Oh, I think I would have.
It was hard.
Wore him out.
I texted Tom. I was like, I never thought I'd be upset about an 8U game. I was like, Tom, this guy's got to go. Because here's the thing. It's every single game. Then he goes to the championship game on 10U and calls 2 tag plays. He calls the girl out thinking it's a force play. He doesn't know that you have to like tag the girl to get her out. I'm like, how is this guy wearing an umpire uniform? This is insane. And I as soon as I watched it, I turned around and looked at Kohler. Goes, take a lap, Steve. It's okay. I'm like stressed out for the girls on the field. I'm like, I feel terrible for them. They're working so hard. This guy doesn't know the rules.
Yeah, that's the worst. When they're literally making plays, good plays.
Yeah, good plays. Doesn't reward.
Here's a situation that came out last week, and I'm like, it's really know your shots. So it's first and second, 1 out. Ball hit to the second baseman. The runner on first runs almost to the pitcher's mound to avoid the tag.
Mm-hmm.
He's out, right? But the kid on second kept running all the way home. And sometimes you can see the ball is supposed to be dead. Is the ball dead or is the ball still live? I mean, this kid literally like you can just run in circles and run in the outfield until someone tags you, and the other person gets to keep running.
I wonder. So we have a rule with that. It's if you stop the ball in front of the lead runner like that, like the play's dead. Or if you get the ball back to the pitcher circle, the play is dead. As soon as the ball gets back to the pitcher and she's in the circle, you can't run anymore.
Yeah, that's probably because that's 8U.
Yeah, but 10U is the same because I was confused. We're playing in a playoff game and we struck a girl out. There's runners on second and third, and they all come to the mound to celebrate the strikeout. My team. I'm like, hey, wait, there's a runner on third. Like, what are we doing? You know, but I'm like, oh yeah, the ball's in the circle. It doesn't matter. Like one of the other coaches told me, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I was freaking out for a second, but you know.
Oh, but on a baseball rule, what do you think? So I looked it up and it kind of said dead ball, but then someone else sent me the rule and it said still a live ball and it could be almost at an umpire's discretion. And like this kid doesn't have that one in his bag.
They don't know. Call that one. You gotta make it clear, especially at a young age. Like that's why we have the circle thing.
True. For this kid to run all the way basically the pitcher's mound and like huge distraction, like we're trying to get this freaking kid, but the other kid just keeps running and scores, which tied the game.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't like that.
We still end up winning, but still.
I feel like that's on the coaches, right? Like, you're going to win at all costs like that? Like, you're not teaching them how to play the right way.
These coaches, I was ready to punch this old man the other day. He was just kept sending, supposed to be one base on an overthrow. This guy was just kept going, no matter what.
Yeah. That's just bad etiquette. Like, you want to teach at the end of the day, like, I didn't care if the girls won or lost. Like, I wanted them to win, but I also want to teach them and the other team. Like, a snowball fight doesn't do anyone any good where the ball's just thrown around everywhere. Like, let's go station to station, terrible, regular season, learn playoffs, whatever, you know? So,
anyways. Well,
all right, good stuff.
At least you guys could give it on the day. Maybe we could actually do this on time next week. Maybe we could do this more every day. That'd be great. If you're available every day, I got time.
Definitely not every day, but next week I should be good. The mayhem should be over. No more softballs, just golf, and it's on the weekends. So.
All right, I'm flying out to Atlanta tomorrow for a BMX race. I need to go compete in something. So
we need updates. Hey, post on the account how we're doing.
All right, me and Knox are heading down there.
Cool. Go get them.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you.
See you next week. If someone has any questions, let us know.